You're most welcome, dear grade 12 students, to this video, which is about the vocabulary of module 4a, page 54. There are two objectives for today's video. The first one is to identify the correct form of the words so as to complete the given sentences, and the second one is to form prepositional phrases and use them correctly in the spaces provided. You need to prepare your student book, page 54, exercises A and B. You also need to prepare your copybook to add to your word list. And you also need a dictionary, whether a hard copy or a soft one. In exercise A, you are going to complete the given sentences right here with the correct word, one of these four words. Or sometimes you may change the form of the word to suit the context. So please pause for 4 minutes, study the difference between these four words using your dictionary, and then follow for the feedback. Number 1, are you ready? My father always tells me that. Your answer, please. Right, travel or traveling broadens the mind. We have used the word travel, which is a noun right here, and we can add ing, but if we add ing, we should consider that we have added it to a verb. So the word travel can be used as a noun or a verb, but when we add ing to the verb, we derive the gerund, which is generally considered to be a noun. Broadens, the word broadens is a verb, right? And it derives from the adjective broad plus the suffix en. So en here is used to derive a verb out of an adjective. So generally it is a de-adjectival verb, as we have agreed in a previous video. The s here expresses the tense, the present tense. So the s itself is a present simple third person marker, right? Okay, we use travel to express the act or action of traveling. We can use modifiers like air travel, space travel, rail travel, limited travel or unlimited travel for some visas to some countries. How about number 2? It's a 5-hour, your answer please, journey by bus to get from here to Madrid. If you consider that the distance from here to Madrid is not that long, we can use trip instead of journey right here. So both journey and trip are okay. But generally speaking, journey expresses the act of long distance traveling from a place to another, especially when they are far apart. We can say a 5-hour bus journey or train journey. We can say a day's journey by car. Number 3, ready? We are planning on taking a guided tour. So because it's guided, we choose the word tour of Paris when we go there. So the tour is an organized or guided journey or trip to visit places for pleasure. We can say it's a sightseeing tour or walking tour. And please take care of the collocation right here. We say take a tour, right? About number 4, ready? My friends and I went on a trip to Miami last weekend. We deserved a rest after our exams. Also pay attention to the collocation here. Go on a trip, but take a tour. In the past, went on a trip. So a trip is a short journey. This is what I have just told you about the difference between journey and trip. A trip is a short journey to a place and back again. If you go and come back again, it's a round trip. Also, generally you can use any means of transportation before the word trip. You can say it's a boat trip, it's a couch trip, etc. Also, you can use the word trip to express a particular or a specific purpose. You can say it's a shopping trip, it's a school trip, it's a business trip. It's also, if you can use the word trip to answer a question like, how far is your school? You can say it's a 10-mile trip or a 20-mile round trip from here to school. Right? Thank you so much. Let's continue. In the same way, use your dictionary to study the difference between voyage, excursion, and expedition. Take 1 or 2 minutes, fill in the spaces right here, and then follow for the feedback. Sentence number 5 reads, an space across the Atlantic used to last for weeks. What's your answer, please? It's in the Atlantic Ocean, so it is a voyage. So we use the word voyage for a long journey by sea or a ship, by a spacecraft, or in space. So by sea or in space, we use voyage. How about number 6? Is your answer ready? The purpose of the expedition was for scientists to discover Antarctica. So we use expedition for an organized journey with a particular purpose, for the purpose of exploration, to explore a new place like Antarctica over here, or to do a scientific research or something. Number 7 is excursion, and excursion is a short organized journey or trip for pleasure, for a leisure activity. And this is what happens here at number 7. My son's class is going on an excursion to the aquarium tomorrow. So it is an activity for pleasure, to spend leisure time, right? In the same way, study the difference between hotel, resort, hostel, and suite, and then follow for the feedback. Are you ready with number 8? We went to a ski, your answer please, a ski resort, and spent the whole weekend on the slopes. These are called the slopes, ski slopes. Okay, the word resort refers to a place where people go on holidays. If it is overlooking the sea, it's a seaside resort. If we escape to it from the heat of the summer, so it's a summer resort, and vice versa, winter resort for certain activities like skiing, so we say it's a ski resort. Number 9, the famous writer stayed at a luxurious, at the Hilton. Your answer? Yeah, suite. A suite is a set of connected rooms in a hotel, and because it's luxurious, it exactly means elegant or deluxe or lavishly furnished set of rooms like this one. How about number 10? We should stay at it will cost us less. The place which costs less is called a hostel. So a hostel is a building that provides cheap meals and simple accommodation, especially for young people. It is much cheaper than a hotel right here in number 11. Victor ordered room service and spent the night in his hotel room. Okay. Remember, in order to maximize your benefit, please use your dictionary, study the difference between cabin, cottage, and caravan, and then follow for this feedback. Now, are you ready with number 12? What's your answer here, please? Exactly, a caravan is very convenient. This is a caravan. It's convenient, which means it's very suitable. It fits well, because you can go wherever you like and you don't have to spend time looking for accommodation. So a caravan is a vehicle designed for people to live and sleep in during holidays. How about number 13? My grandmother lives in a charming brick. Your answer please? like a cottage in the countryside. So a cottage is a small house in the countryside or in rural areas, in a village, for example. Okay. Number 14, the hikers, those are called hikers, found shelter. Shelter is a place to protect themselves from the storm in a log. Your answer please. In a log cabin. This is called a log cabin in the mountains. So a cabin is a small, less furnished house made of wood. Okay. Do the same right here. Study the difference between arrive, get, and reach, and pay special attention to the prepositions and the tense in some sentences. Done. How about number 15? Exactly, we arrived at the airport late and missed our flight. Arrive at is used especially with buildings or locations covering small areas like stadium, museum, or airport in the sentence. Whereas we use arrive in especially when it is followed by large areas like countries or cities or towns. How about number 16? The verb used with to is, right, is get. How can I get to the travel agents from here? Get to means arrive at or reach without any preposition. Number 17, Khalifa didn't exactly reach, no preposition right here. He didn't reach the campsite till midnight, he was exhausted. So reach means arrive at, but without any prepositions. Okay, I'd like to add something here. The pronunciation of this ed, it is pronounced t, as if it were t, missed, because the main verb ends in s sound or phoneme s. It's the same as k in look, looked, and sh in wash, washed, and p in stop, stopped. One thing here, this apostrophe s refers to the place, the company or the office of the travel agent. Something here, he was exhausted. Exhausted means extremely tired, but the difference is that the adjective tired is gradable, a gradable adjective. A gradable adjective means that I can use modifiers before this adjective. I can say I'm a bit tired, or very tired, or extremely tired. But the adjective exhausted is non-gradable adjective. It is an extreme adjective. It has reached the extreme meaning. So I cannot use very exhausted or extremely exhausted, because already it is a strong adjective in itself. Okay, let's continue. Please do the same with verbs come, approach, and appear. And once you have finished, please follow for the feedback. Number 18, Walid was gazing. Gazing means looking, staring. He was looking at the sunrise, so Walid was gazing at the sunrise right here. When a ship, a small ship over there, what is your answer please? Exactly, a ship appeared from the left. Appeared means it started to be seen. It started to be visible. Number 19, if you are going to a place like the beach and you are going to ask who is coming, who is coming with us to the beach? So to come with somebody is to move to somebody or to move towards somebody or a place. Number 20, as the boys, right, approached or reached the forest, they noticed a path. This is a path leading to a river over there. The verb approach means to come nearer to somebody or a place. To come nearer to somebody or a place in distance. Okay. In exercise B, you need to complete the sentences with the correct preposition, one of these 4 prepositions, to fill in the spaces right here. Okay, so pause, take your time, 2-3 minutes, and then let's continue for the feedback. I really enjoyed my holiday last year as everything was. Your answer, please. Have you used within? Okay, you're right. Within walking distance. And I didn't need to worry about how to get around. Within walking distance means that everything was possible, everywhere was possible to reach by walking. I didn't need to take a taxi. Number 2, although there are some hotels that provide luxurious accommodation. Your answer, please. In the city center, right? The best hotels are mainly located in the suburbs. So we are going to use in the suburbs and in the city center. And the suburb is an area of living just outside the center of the city. So it is a bit far from the city center. Please do the same here. Pause. And once you are ready, let's continue for the feedback. Number 4. After traveling for hours, I was surprised to find a beautiful oasis. This is a beautiful oasis, but it is, your answer please, your preposition, exactly in the middle of nowhere. It is in the middle of nowhere. It means it's very far away. The yacht, this is a yacht, was floating just. We need a preposition that carries the meaning of away from. Your answer please? Yes. Floating off the southern coast of the peninsula. This is the southern coast of the peninsula, and the peninsula is a piece of land surrounded with water from 3 directions, 1, 2, and 3. Number 6, the ski resort. I've already elaborated on ski resort at the beginning of the video. Okay, it had an amazing view of the valley as it had been built, your answer, on the edge of a cliff. This is called the edge of a cliff, and we use the preposition on. So this building is built on the edge of a cliff. This is called a cliff, and this is its edge, right? Let's continue. Are you ready with number 7? What preposition to be used with the distance? Exactly. In the distance, we could see a monument of a historical figure on the top of a hill. On the top of a hill. Number 8, the health resort I went to was, how about the preposition used with outskirts? Exactly, on the outskirts of London. Pay attention to the idea that with the word suburb, we have already used in the suburbs previously, okay? But with the outskirts, we use on the outskirts. The outskirts are the parts of the city or town that are the furthest from the center of the city. They are living on the outskirts of Rome, whereas suburb is the area of living just outside the center. It's a bit far from the center of the city. Please do not forget to add the new words to your word list and to use them in sentences of your own. Also use them in your writing and speaking. Thanks very much for watching this video. You will find it on Microsoft Teams.